Good morning, friends. Welcome back to the Say What podcast. My name is Hannah, and on this podcast, we like to talk about purity culture, overcoming it, specifically like how toxic it is, marriage, family, relationships, sex, all the good, fun things here on the podcast. So, welcome. I'm excited to have you. It is the first day of 2025. Happy New Year. I can't believe it's already 2025. I'm pretty sure it's only been like 1 year since COVID happened. I cannot believe we're already in 2025. For some reason, 25 just feels really like old. Like we're really like old now. And you know, when I say that I was born in the 1900s, I feel ancient. I'm not even 30, but I feel ancient. Not that there's anything wrong with being 30. I'm really excited to go into my 30s. However, I can be 29 for another year, which I will be. My birthday's not till November. So like we're good. We're good. But 25 just feels really old. But for the first time in a long time, I'm actually like really excited about the new year. I'm feeling very motivated. I was thinking the other day that I was feeling really bummed about going into the new year because I'm not quite where I want to be, which I'll talk about in a few minutes. But I'm feeling excited. And I think we ended this year off really well. We had Christmas, we had Tate's birthday, he turned 2, we had some really good family time, really good friend time. We're really getting our like footing here in North Carolina. Like we really love it, and we love our church and our community, and it's just like so special. I had, a good amount of people to invite to Tate's birthday party, which was so special. It just felt good that we're finally like getting a rhythm here, and we really love it. And so I'm trying to think about what updates have happened since I last recorded, because I took some time off, which was nice. I say time off like I took a week off, but it felt really good to have that break. And when you record a podcast every week, sometimes you just like need some space because you need to actually have like new thoughts and new ideas. And so that was definitely needed. That was much needed. But I am happy to be back chatting with you guys because I'm just feeling a sense of like refreshed and newness that's going to come. I'm really excited because this next year for us is going to look really different because my son is going to go to preschool, which is really exciting. He's going 3 days a week, and I'm about to have 3 days like back to myself, which is going to be crazy. Now I still work, I still have my part-time job. And that is going to take up a lot of that time. But to be able to work without my son coming up to me and closing my laptop and saying, "Mommy's all done. No work, Mommy." Actually, now he says full sentences. So he would say, "Mommy, are you all done working?" That's what he would say. And then he'd close my computer and be like, "You're all done, Mama. Come play trains." And I wish I could play trains with him all day. However, I cannot. I have a job I have to do. So I'm so excited to actually get some of my time back, which will be really great. And I'm excited for him to go to preschool and to like be with all his friends and learn new things. And he really is so smart. And I'm not just like saying that because he's my son, but he really is so smart. Like he talks like he is a 15-year-old. Like he knows all the words. He can say full sentences. He's getting to know his colors. He knows the alphabet, which he knows just the songs. But he memorizes books. Like he knows what's coming next in a book because he's memorized it, because he's read it twice and now he knows what it is. We're learning all the dinosaur names. Like he knows the colors. He's figuring out logistics on his train table. Like if a train is in the way, he thinks like, okay, I got to back it up and put it over here so I can put this train here. But then I got to move Emily this way so Rebecca can come through, and Thomas has to go over here so Henry can come through this way. Like he's figuring all that out, and he's literally 2. Like it's really crazy. And I'm sorry if you don't want to hear me go on about my child, but I am his mother and I'm obsessed with him. So I'm just amazed at how smart he is, and I can't wait to see how much smarter he gets as he goes to preschool. And we know all of his teachers, we know some of the kids in the class, so that feels really good. And I'm just feeling really confident about him going. I'm feeling a little bit nervous because we're never away from each other, and so like for extended amount of time like this, but it'll be really good for us. I'm very excited. I'm like, you can go do your things, but this like gives me time to actually plan out the podcast, plan out my Instagram, plan out my TikTok. Yeah, that's right, I'm posting on TikTok now. Okay, that sounded really like crazy, but I am trying to post more on TikTok because I have been feeling very uninspired with Instagram lately, and that is sad because that's where my people are. That's where my community is, and something about it lately has been giving me the ick. So I've been posting on TikTok, and of course I'm going to start posting on TikTok, and then it's going to go away, which is just like, classic. So it'll be okay though. We will push through. But I'm feeling excited about the new year. I'm excited about what's to come. I'm excited for this podcast. I'm excited to watch it grow. I'm excited to watch it help new people. And it's going to be a really good year. But I will say I was feeling pretty not great about going into this year a couple of days ago, and I'm still feeling that way a little bit. I'm just not where I thought I would be. Like when I started this podcast in 2020, I thought like, oh, in 5 years, it'll definitely be my full-time job. It will be what I'm doing all the time. And, my accounts will grow and it's just like what I'm going to do. And that's definitely not where I'm at, which is okay. Like I really do like the part-time job that I have, and I'm really grateful for the work that I get to do, and I enjoy it. And like it's good. And I'm not trying to like quit it anytime soon. I just thought that this is where I thought I was going to be somewhere else. And who knows, like once I was doing this full time, like I'd probably maybe still keep my part-time job. So that way we have all the income that we need to be able to buy a house one day and all the stuff. But, I'm just not where I thought I was going to be when I started this in 2020. But maybe I've been trying to work on my perspective, because maybe in 2020, I thought that I'd only do this for a little bit, and now I'm doing it for almost 5 years. But, I'm just trying to change my perspective and be grateful for the job that I do have, and that I still get to do this, that people are still listening to me, and that I haven't been like canceled yet. I should be grateful for that. I do everything with like guidance from the Lord, and if he is telling me that I shouldn't post something, I won't post it, which that has happened a lot. Like there's been a lot of times where I can post here's just a little like behind the scenes strategy for you. I know if I post about dress codes, it's going to get a response. I know that it's going to do well. It's going to succeed usually. And I know it's going to make people mad. And so there's been some times where I'm feeling like my account isn't getting, like the growth that I want it to, because I want it to grow, because I want it to reach the right girls who need the help. Like I want it to reach every girl who grew up in purity culture, who's tired of it and wants to feel something different, who doesn't want to have those negative thoughts anymore. I want it to reach girls who are experiencing painful sex and are really confused about it and really alone and don't know where to turn, like who haven't even looked it up yet, but I just like come up on their Instagram and they finally find like relief. That's what I'm hoping for. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe if I post about the dress codes, that will like get to the right person's page. But then there's some times where I post about it and I feel icky because I'm only doing it because I know it's going to do well. And so I just like doesn't sit right in my spirit. And so I just like won't post it. And I know that the Lord's going to reward that one day, because I'm leaning into his convictions about what I do. And if you do see me posting another video about dress codes, like I don't want you to be like, well, what is she posting this for? Just know if I am posting it, it's because God has said, like, go ahead, post this. Like, this will be what is needed, because that is a big part of purity culture. So, but there's just been some times where I've been like convicted and like, okay, I'm not going to post this. And you're right, God, this is not the right reasons for posting it. So I try to like lean into that and listen to that. I'm also thinking that a resolution of mine in 2025 needs to be to drop like. So I'm going to really work on that. I'm going to try. But this episode, speaking of resolutions, is I, for the first time in forever, actually made a vision board. And I did make a vision board last year because my friend had a vision board party, but I didn't go into it with any plan at all. I didn't have any thoughts. I literally went in and like cut up things I liked in magazines and put them on the board. Like I was not thinking about it. I was not being strategic. I was not dreaming. And I decided this year is the year that I'm going to do that. And I think it's because as you get older, you just feel a little bit more stable. You feel a little bit like you know how to be an adult, what's going on with life, which is also crazy because I'm just a 16-year-old. That's how I feel sometimes. I'm like, how am I actually almost 30? That's really crazy. But I feel more confident going into this year. Last New Year's, I had just broken my leg. So I wasn't doing anything except for sitting on the couch. Truly was sitting on the couch with a big old boot on my leg, and I couldn't do anything, and I was in so much pain. And that's what my life was last year. I couldn't even be alone with my son. That is what was happening, because I couldn't take care of him because I couldn't walk. So that was what my New Year's was last year. And this year, we're a lot different. My leg is totally healed 100%. I don't experience a lot of pain anymore. And I am just feeling motivated. Like getting my child to preschool is a new stage of my life where I get some of my time back and can use it differently. And so I'm really, really excited about that. And I just can't wait to see what's going to come. So I figured I would share some of what 2025 is hoping to look like for me. This is what I put on my vision board on Pinterest. And we are actually going to a vision board party in the middle of January. that I will hopefully like bring some of these pictures to. But I just did it on Pinterest this year. I just went and like pinned some things that I liked and that I'm hoping to see in this next year. And some of these I'm probably like not going to put on the internet, but I'll put on the podcast. You know what I mean? Like you get the inside scoop. I'm probably not going to put it on Instagram or TikTok, but I will tell you guys what is hoping to come for this year. And, you know, I don't think it's anything necessarily groundbreaking, but maybe this is what you need to hear for yourself as well. I've never been like a big resolutions girl. Sometimes I'm like, I'm going to have a word for the year. I don't necessarily feel like I have a word for the year this year. I haven't really prayed about it, but nothing's really jumped out at me. I just have a lot of things I'm hoping to do this year. And a lot of them are like, get your butt off the couch and put your phone down. But on the other half, it's like, no, you do need to pick your phone up and record content because you enjoy doing that and you love it. And it's like what you want to do full time. So we do need to record content, but we need to not doom scroll. That's what I'm hoping to stop doing in 2025. But let's just get in. And this is in no particular order, you know? Okay. Oh, I just looked at my notes. Another reason I was feeling bummed going into 2025 is my release of the Eden did go very well, but it is not where I thought it would be at this point. And so I'm also feeling a little bit bummed about that, but it's going to be okay. I believe the Lord has a plan. Everybody who's gotten the Eden has loved it and has felt like it is exactly what they needed. So I just got to get in front of some more people's faces with it. And, it's all going to work out. It's all going to work out. I believe our words have so much power, and I'm trying to speak those things over it rather than focus so much on the negative. But I do like to share the negative with you because that's real life and that's what we're going through. But I'm really trying to focus on the positive and speak, good words into 2025. So here it goes now that I'm looking at this order, I do feel like this probably is the order that I'm going to focus on now that I'm looking at it. Okay. First, more time with God and really prioritize my time with God. I go through seasons where I am like so in the word and I'm reading every day and I'm like so dedicated. It's what I do. And then there's seasons where it's like not happening and I'm listening to worship music, but I'm not actually like reading my Bible, journaling, doing all that. So I'm hoping to get a more routine this year, especially I'm just telling you, going to preschool is going to like change my life. So I think it's going to solve all of my problems. So I'm hoping to get a more routine at the beginning of the year, and that has to do with reading my Bible, because right now part of my routine is drinking my coffee and doing the Wordle, but it should be drinking my coffee and saving the Wordle for later and reading my Bible. So that's really what I'm going to try to bring into this new year, is really prioritizing my time with God, because Thomas and I were looking over the last year, and our church, there's a lot of people who are like prophetic at our church and will speak things, and it's really, really crazy how prophecy works. I've been around it, but not as much as I have at the church that we're out at now. And some of the things that people have prayed over us and prophesied over us is so crazy. I'm like, you did not know that specific detail of my life that nobody else knows. Like you didn't even know my name until I sat down in front of you for you to prophesy over me. And somehow you know about the trauma of my life. That's crazy. Like for real. And I'm like, there's the only way that is real is it because of God. Like there's no way you just like made up this very specific detail of my life that people don't know about, and somehow you just spoke it over me and said it out loud to this entire room. Rude. I'm just kidding. It's not rude at all, but it's just like, okay, yep, you definitely read me to filth, like read my mail, and you are right. But we've had a lot of people like prophesy over us and speak over us, and a lot of what they have said has come true, and a lot of the prayers that we have prayed last year have come true. Like when it came to releasing the Eden, Thomas was looking over. So every birthday at our church, they do prophesy over people like on staff's birthdays. And so not this past November, the November before, when they were prophesying over Thomas for his birthday, part of what they said was that during the time with my broken leg, that God would birth new ideas out of me and would bring out like part of my calling in life during this like really hard time. Like something would be birthed from that. And what was birthed from part of the like breaking leg was the Eden, which is so crazy. Like the Lord gave that to me during that season of my life. And that is exactly what was like prayed and prophesied over me, which is so crazy. So like Thomas says, like so much of what we have prayed for has come true and we're not even recognizing it. And so I've got to get back like writing things down, writing down my prayers. I pray every day. Like I pray a lot throughout the day, but I really love writing my prayers down because it's, a way to actually have a marker of like what you've prayed for and what has come true. And it's just like journals forever. And so I love a journal. And so I am really going to prioritize that time of my life this year. And then hopefully that just becomes a habit and I never have to say that again because it's something I'm already doing. So that is definitely number one, is prioritize that time with the Lord and prioritize my mornings, like, because I want to live the best day, and to live the best day, I need to start it out the right way and to just get off my phone again. Okay. Number two, more focused family time, which means I want more date nights with my husband. I want more time at home with Tate. Like when we're home with Tate, we're usually on. Like we are, if it's outside of working hours, like we're on. We're focused. We're playing. I'm playing trains. I'm building tracks. Like I'm building some blocks. We're going on walks. But I want as much of that as I can. I am really excited about that for our family, and I really want to prioritize my time with Thomas when Tate goes down for bed. A lot of times we have things that we need to do and stuff like that, but like I really want to prioritize our time together and really focus on like more at-home date nights. You know, when you're a parent with young kids, you don't get to have a lot of date nights, and so I really want to prioritize our time at home and creating date night moments. I don't do that. I don't think we've had at-home date nights. We're just like, okay, we'll just like play some games, but I think it can be really special for like once Tate goes to bed, if Thomas and I like baked together and like made some cookies or made a dessert and like had some fun drinks and, you know, played cards together or played our games, but like set up more of a vibe, more of an atmosphere rather than just like playing games or like having really good conversation or watching a movie. Like really set up some at-home date nights. That's something that I am going to really try to prioritize in this next year. So we shall see how that goes, but I am really looking forward to like what's to come for our marriage. Like our marriage is really good. Like we really are each other's best friend. Like we went through a lot of really hard stuff at the beginning of our marriage, but we're in such like a smooth sailing moment now. Like I know obviously there's still things that come up. We still fight about little things. I catch myself getting like attitude all the time, especially around my period, and I've got to figure that out. But you know, there's definitely fights that happen, but at the end of the day, like we are each other's best friend. We want to be with each other 24/7, and no matter what is happening around us, the stress at work, the stress with parenting, the stress with like our cars breaking down or whatever, like we are each other's foundation. Outside of Jesus, let me back up. Jesus is our foundation, but like we are each other's like safe place, our home. And so we just really need to continue to like, you know, feed that. We want that to grow and be as best as it could be. And so that also means like more sex outside of trying for a baby, because that is the next thing, is that we do want to grow our family. And there's such like a line of like, do I want to talk about it? Do I not want to talk about it? I'm telling every person in our life basically that we really want to grow our family. I want more kids. And it's, you know, I always toy the line of not sharing too much on the internet because I still want privacy for our family. But I'm also somebody, because there's such a, I don't know what the word is, you know, stigma, I guess, around telling people that you're trying for a baby. I can understand it because it is a private thing. Also, if you tell people you're trying for a baby, then they're like, okay, you're having sex all the time, which I understand can be a lot for some people. And you don't want people to ask. So I know that's the hard part, is like you don't want people to ask if it's worked yet or not, because then if it hasn't, it can be really disheartening and really devastating to like share like, oh no, it's, you know, not happened yet. So I get it. I get all those things. But I am somebody who's like, if there's something I want is and the thing that I want is a literal child, like I need people to be praying for that. That's really important to me, that there are people who are praying for us and praying that we can get pregnant again. And so I'm going to tell people. So I asked Thomas, I was like, do you care if I share that we want to grow our family next year on the podcast? And he was like, I don't care, go for it. So we want to grow our family. And yeah, I hope that that happens this year. So that was like the first thing that I pinned on the board. I probably should have pinned some of the Bible stuff first, but I will be honest and transparent with you that the first thing I pinned was that I wanted to grow. We want to grow our family. I want to be pregnant this year. So we shall see. The next thing is generosity. I want to be so generous this year with our time and our money, but mostly our time. Like I want to be as invested in the people around us as I can be. Like I want to be making meals for people. I want to be giving just because gifts. Like I want to be babysitting my friends' kids so they can go on a date. Like I want to be a super involved community member in my community. And so that's something I'm really going to focus on. And obviously with the money that we can, like give above our tithe. So we tithe every month, but we also give to a campus missionary that is at our church, because I just want us to, I feel like the Lord has like challenged us to go above and beyond with our giving. And so that's what I'm going to do. I don't talk about money a lot. And it's also like there's a line of like what you're supposed to do in private will be rewarded. But I do want to say that if you're ever on the line of like if you should tithe or not, I am such a believer in tithing and tithing first, because the Lord will reward that because you're being obedient. And I swear there's been so many times in my life since I was 18 and got my first I guess I got my first job when I was 17. And I think I did tithe. Yeah, when I got my first job, I'd ask my boss, like, what do I do with my money? Because I wasn't really taught anything about money. And he was like, you save 10% and you tithe your 10%. And I was like, okay, great. And ever since I started tithing, I've never lacked anything in that area. Like, yes, we are struggling with medical bills. Like, we are struggling. Like, I'm not just going to say like everything is fine. Like, we are struggling with paying off these medical bills. It is very difficult. And we've got some debt that we need to pay off. But as far as like having our basic needs met, and anytime we have asked the Lord to bless us in this way, he has. Like, it really has happened. Like, okay, something with our car went out. Well, a family member was like, oh, here's this fund that like I need to close and I want to give you the money for it. It happens to us all the time. And I really believe it is because we are faithful with our giving. So don't say any of that to like say like, oh, look at us. It's really not that. It's just that is something that I really want to be more invested in. And I have seen the impact it's had on my life. And so I want to share that with you too. Like the stories of how God has been faithful to us financially I could go on for days about. And I really think it is because we are faithful and loyal with our tithe. And then we listened when the Lord said to go above that, even when that was really difficult. I mean, I believed in what he's doing, but I'm like, okay, we got medical bills to pay, but we're going to do it. We're going to do it. And I'm just going to trust that the Lord's got us. And so that's what we're doing. And I think if you are in a situation where you're not tithing at the moment, I just want to like encourage you to tithe. The Lord calls us to give 10%, and it has made such an impact on my life. And I would do it even if it didn't make an impact on my life, because God asks us to do that. And I believe in the bigger picture. But I just really want to encourage you to do that if you're not. The next one thing I want to do for 2025 is prioritize health. So I know myself now, and as I'm getting older, I know what I should and shouldn't eat. And I also know that moving my body will only benefit me, and I can do the hard things. Like, I do not like to work out. I do not like to move my body. It's just not fun to me. However, since breaking my leg, I kind of have to. Like, I desperately need to work out, because the more I work out the muscles, the less pain I'm going to be in. And so the more I'm moving, the more I'm stretching out these muscles, the less pain I have. And I've got to get my life together when it comes to that. Before Tate got into preschool, we had actually talked about me joining this like classes-based gym where I could go to and like go to these classes, because if I'm just signing up for the gym, like I'm not going to go. Like, I just know myself and I'll talk myself out of it. But if I have a class that I have like an appointment for, I'll go. But then Tate got into preschool, and so the money for that obviously is going to preschool instead. But with him going to preschool, I think I can like get up in the morning, eat a banana, do my workout, and then have my breakfast and drink my coffee. I think that would be a really good pattern for me, because we also have like access to like in-home workout stuff. So through like Apple, I don't even really know. When I had an Apple Watch, I was able to start a workout, and that's all I really know. So I just need to figure out how to do that again. But I can do it at home. We have the space, we have the time. And I just know it will benefit me in the long run. And so I really need to prioritize my health. I also need to prioritize my diet, because, and I'm not saying like going on a diet, it's more of just, I know that I don't need to eat as much sweets as I do. I know that I don't need to eat as much sugar as I do, not because sugar is bad and sweets is bad, but because I know how it affects my body. And I know the effects it has. I know I will feel better if I will not eat that sweet at night. And everyone and their mother talks about how protein just like changes their life and makes it so much better versus eating carbs all day. And I have got to figure out how to do that hard thing. Like, I keep telling myself I can do hard things, but when it comes to food, I'm like, but I love chicken nuggets. So I just have to figure it out. And I really want to like get involved in the kitchen next year. You know, I say all this stuff, but if I'm pregnant, like that's definitely out the window. But, you know, I want to learn how to cook, and I really want to be able to cook and provide for my family. And I really like green beans. I really like potatoes. I really like grilled chickens. Like, we just need to be making that food every night, and it would be fine. And I would feel much better if I just ate that all day long. So I have to figure that out. But I do want to prioritize my health, because I have not been, and I just know that I will feel better if I do. So I am going to be doing that next year. And Thomas is doing it with me, which makes a huge difference for all of this. Okay, next thing, make our house a home. So we've been living in this house for a year and a half now, and the walls are bare, and I just have to change it. Like, I am someone who's not like, oh, we got to go decorate immediately, which is crazy because when I grew up, my room was always decorated. Like, I've had purple walls, I've had pink walls, I've had hot pink walls, I've had green walls. Like, whatever wall in my house I wanted to paint, my dad would do it. Like, whatever color I asked for, he would do it. So I always had like super decorated walls. But then once I went to college, I just kind of like lost that. And when we moved into our house, I'm like, oh, we're only going to live here for a year. So I don't want to put holes in the wall. I just haven't been into decorating, and that has got to change. I want my son to grow up in a warm, happy home, and since I'm home all the time, I know I'll only feel better about being home all the time if I have my house decorated. So I really want to focus on making our house a home. We can figure out the holes later, like we can patch them before we move out of this townhouse that we're renting, and it'll be worth it. So I'm slowly starting to add stuff to our house. We've hung some pictures. We hung a mirror this weekend. I have like the layout planned of the next things that I want to buy. So I just need to pull the trigger and order those. And I can do it. Like, I think it'll be worth it. It just is going to take some time to figure out, and I need to slowly do it so I don't spend all the money at one time. But I cannot wait. Like, after taking all the Christmas down and our house was so bare, I'm like, okay, we have to make this house a home. It's time. It's time. It's time. So I am feeling very excited about that, even though it will take time. The reason I haven't really decorated much is one, like all the things I just said before, but also I didn't really know what my home style was. I liked so many different things that it would just stop me from buying something. And I've just decided, like, if I like something, I'm going to buy it. Like, if I like this painting, I'm going to buy it. And if I will figure out how to make it match with everything else. It's just, I need to stop getting in my own way when it comes to decorating and just get the things that we like. So that is what I'm doing. And I might have one room in my house be one like style and the next room is something else, but it's okay. It is a home and it can have different styles in it, and it's fine. So I'm doing that next year. We're working on it now. So it's just one of those things I want to keep like doing as the year goes on. The next thing I am going to be doing this year is be more consistent with posting and with my podcast. I mean, I don't miss a week of podcasts. So that is pretty consistent unless something like drastic comes up. I don't miss a week, but I want to be way more consistent with posting my content because I believe my content matters and I really want to help people. And this is the way that I'm doing it in 2025. So I just need to be more consistent. I need to plan. I need to actually strategize. And I know that I can do it. I just have to find the time to do it. And I'm going to find the time to do it. Like Thomas has said, on Mondays, I'm leaving the house and going to work like somewhere else so I can actually have ideas, because I just get so sucked into my house and sitting on my couch that it's hard for me to be creative. And so he's like, okay, Mondays, you're leaving. Go. I'm like, okay, great. Sounds good to me. So I get to go somewhere and work, and I got to figure out where I'm going to go, where I can go for free. I don't have to pay for things or like pay for a coffee every time. But I'm very excited to go get out of my house and work and be inspired and plan out my content and actually film. And it's just going to be a really good time. So I'm very excited about that. I know that's something that has to happen and is going to happen. And it'll be good. It'll be good. I think we're on 7. I was not saying them as we go. Number 7. I didn't even count how many these were. But number 7. I want to release more Eden products. So I have 2 ideas for more Eden products, but I have not moved on them yet, obviously. But I do want to release more Eden products. I know the next step we need to take with those in my business. And that is what I eventually want to become my full, time job, is this podcast and have this like product that I have made. But I just got to figure out how to market it better. I have to figure out how to get it in front of people's faces, because this is not something that you are looking up. Like, you don't know that you need this product until you see it. Like, it's not like you're just looking up a journal. Like, you're not looking up note cards. You're not just looking up Bible study tools and this is going to pop up. Like, it's a very specific Bible study tool. It's a very specific product. And so I just have to figure out how to market it and get it in front of people's faces. But I also want to release more products. So I have more ideas, and maybe not products. Maybe I should say more product. Just like one more thing, which I think I can do. I think it will be an easy one to do, which I'm not just saying like I should do the easy thing, but I feel confident that I can do this next one. And so I just got to do it. I just need to do it. So I'm feeling very excited about that, and just stay tuned for more in 2025. I'm looking forward to it. 2 more things. Girls' nights. I've started to kind of get a good group of girls. They're not like one group where everybody is, but there's a couple like different groups of friends that, we're building here. And I just love a girls' night, and I want to have more of them. outside of people's birthdays. Like for my birthday, Caroline had a little like charm necklace making party, and it was so fun. And I've been wearing my charm necklace so much, and all the girls that were there talked about how we want to do more hobbies and we want to do more things like this. And so I just want to start making girls' nights a priority and making them fun and beautiful and just really enrich the friendships that I have. So I'm feeling really excited about that. And I know it's a need. Like I know that we are the girls in my life also want to see that happen. So that is something that I am definitely going to try to prioritize, is planning those maybe once a quarter. I don't want to put too much pressure on myself. We got a lot going on. So if it's not once a quarter, once every other month, I just want to have some kind. Once every other month also seems like a lot. So probably once a quarter, just want to have a girls' night and it be a really fun, enriching thing for all of us. So where we do like different hobbies, different crafts, like just a fun thing for us to get together and do, and just talk about what it's like to be, a girl, a mom, where we're all at in our lives, and just like get to share authentically and do something fun while we're doing it. So that is also something I want to do more in 2025. And the last thing, this is the year of hobbies. This is the year of hobbies. I am doing a hobby. The first one that I'm working on right now is making fabric picture frames, where I go get like a plain picture frame and go find different fabric prints that I put behind the picture and then put the picture on top of it, or maybe cut it out a certain way. I just have so many like visions in my mind of what this could look like. And this is a great way to add to like a gift for people and to enrich my home. So like I can make a fun thing from my house, but I can also make this a gift of like that I give somebody. So I'm really excited about that. I just want to give like cozy gifts for people and make them feel loved. And this is a way that I can do that because it's like homemade, but it's also fun, and I can like really tailor it towards the person. Like my best friend Caroline, she loves bows. I can like go buy a bow fabric and like make a picture with bows on it and print one out of her and her son, or me and her, or something like that. So like just doing really fun things like that for other people gets me really excited. So I'm really looking forward to that hobby. I also love puzzles. And so I'm about to make some more puzzles. There's this brand of puzzles called Piecework puzzles, and they are the most beautiful puzzles you've ever seen in your life. And I have one here. It's a bunch of champagne, which is so cute. And I want to do them, but I need to get one of those puzzle things that you can like lay out, work on the puzzle, and roll back up. I desperately need one of those because we don't have space to just leave a puzzle out. So I'm going to get one of those because I love a puzzle. And that will be really fun because I can also frame those piecework puzzles when they're done because they are that beautiful. They are seriously so stunning. So I plan to do that. I got to get one of those things to make like one of those rolling things on Amazon. I think it's like $30, which is why I have not done it yet, but I will do it. I will find the time. And then kind of crazy, I kind of want to make bread. Like I said, don't cook. I'm not good at it. I don't bake. I'm not good at it. Like I just make funfetti cupcakes. Like that's all I can do. But for some reason, I want to make some sourdough bread. I'm at home all day, so I feel like I could do that part of it. I don't know anything about bread. I don't know anything about the ingredients of bread. I know nothing. But I just feel like somewhere within me, I can make sourdough bread. I feel it in my bones, even though it's extremely hard and people fail at making it a lot. I just feel like it's something that I could do. So we shall see if that happens this year. It may not happen, but it is something I am thinking about because I buy sourdough bread from my grocery store every week because the grocery store like makes it there. I don't buy like off the shelf, like they make it. And it only has a few ingredients there. And I'm like, well, I could do it for probably only 2 ingredients at my house. But I love their sourdough bread. And so I'm like, maybe I can make my own. So we shall see. I don't know if I'm going to do it yet, but it's on my list of like potentially things that I could do. Because I also want to be able to make something that I made. Like whenever we deliver a meal for people, Thomas is making the meal. Like whenever I like bring cookies to a function, Thomas is making the cookies, which I love that. But I want to do something. Like I want people to say like, oh, Hannah's bread is so good. Because like they know that like if I'm going somewhere, like I'm gonna bring them some bread. Like I want stuff like that. So again, I'm just trying to find more things that don't involve posting on the internet to have to do with myself. And it's ways that I can like bless other people. That's what I'm really excited about. So there's my year. That's what I'm hoping to do. I would love to hear what you're hoping to do in 2025. Let me know if we're in this together, and let me know if you also are or if you just like don't like New Year. I would love to know your thoughts on that as well. So let me know how your year is going to shape out, and if you have any things that were on my list or also on your list. But thanks for hanging out with me, friends. This was a fantastic year. I should have done like a year recap, but my year recap was that my leg broke, and that's all I had from last year. So that's really all I did, is that my leg broke and I released the Eden, which is very exciting. And you can still get the Eden on Amazon, which is very exciting, or you can go at the EdenNotepad.com. All right, friends, I love you so much. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and we will talk soon.